What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I've got a little show off video here. I've got some of the RPM discs here. These are going to be my top let's call it 5 molds that I think you should try from RPM, or at least are worth a try. Okay, I've been testing some of the stuff out. I think I've thrown pretty much everything from RPM now. Maybe 1 or 2 discs I might not know of, but really nice plastic. Even before I was on the team, one of the first disc I threw from RPM was a P Waka Waka mid-range, and that thing blew me away. It was the first time I ever threw a mid. What I felt was far. I think I threw it like 360 feet on a hyzer flip, just pretty easy. So yeah, the plastic won me over before I was on the team. But before I get into that, let's go ahead and see if you will click that subscribe button and ding that bell for me, so you know when these videos come out. I would love for you to continue on watching my videos and helping me along in this journey. We're slowly moving on up in the subscriber count, and I would love you to join. So let's get into this video. Okay, so what I'm going to start with is the newest disc in RPM's lineup. It is a putter, and it is the Takapu. I'm not great at pronouncing all these discs. I think that's correct. If I'm wrong, one of the team people will let me know for sure. But I think that's pretty close. Here's your profile, rim profile. This is my main throwing putter now. It feels very P2-ish, similar to an Envy. The thing is, it's not as deep as a P2, so that is why I like it. I'm not a fan of deep putters, and that is one of the things that I didn't like about P2s, was they feel too deep in my hand. This feels pretty nice in hand. Fairly low profile compared to a P2, but the rim shape is very similar. Has really good glide, and it has a decent stability. It's not quite as overstable as a P2. This base plastic one, this is a medium magma. This one was a little bit more stable than I think it was my Cosmic one that I was throwing, which Cosmic is a premium plastic. It's kind of like a Sea Line or a Champ feeling, like the Sky God Sea Line stuff. This one felt a little bit more stable than those, but it's a really solid throwing putter. It's my favorite one from RPM. It just feels good, flies good, and it'll hold. You can hit it on anhyzer and get it to hold a flight to the right for a little bit till it flexes out, and it'll hold a hyzer too. But definitely one I think you should try out. This is a good one. In my bag, 100%, like 4 of them. So that will go up in speed, I think. Like I said, the P Waka Waka mid-range. Now, forgive me, I don't remember the numbers on these. There's not numbers on this right now. I know it was a 5-speed, and they changed the number to a 6 because it flies so far. I'm pretty sure it was a 6.6 and probably like a -2 or something, or a -3, maybe 1. I don't know. Don't quote me on those. But for one, this plastic is really pretty. This is the Atomic, I believe. Cosmic is clear, so this should be Atomic. But this is a hyzer flip machine. If you are a hyzer releaser, that is where this disc shines, is on a hyzer release. Don't get me wrong, you can get excuse me, you can get good flights with an anhyzer release hole 23 at Warriors. I got one of the few twos I've got on that hole with this one for the long position. And I threw it high and on Anheuser, and it just held the drift the whole way. Very easy to control. But you can get such low power straight shots out of this disc just by releasing it on hyzer. If you've got really good angle control or just power control in general, those two things combined, you can make this disc do a lot of cool stuff. Really good woods mid-range, so I would, and good for beginners. If you have trouble finding distance, this is one of those discs that you might start throwing further than most of your other discs just because it has so much glide. I mean it. This is really nice. I like this one. So that's the second disc on this list. If you peep my hat, it'll look familiar. So I got the Batman, I got the Pekka Pekka here. This is a Fairway. I'm pretty, yeah, it's got the numbers on it. So this is a 9.6 -3 1. The Pekka Pekka in general, most of the ones I've thrown are not really the -3, although you can get that flight depending. Like I said, most of the ones I've thrown have not felt like a -3. It's been more like -2 maybe. But I do have an atomic one that is a hyzer flip to turnover. And this is an atomic. But one thing that is pretty cool that RPM has started doing, it's going to be hard to see on this disc. There's two little numbered wheels here that have arrows pointing to numbers. One of them correlates to a month of the year, and one correlates to the year. So this one has 21 through 26 for the year, and then 1 through 12 on this. And whatever number the arrow's pointing to, that's the batch that this disc came from. So this was a 222 run batch. So what that means is, say you've gotten a couple of discs and they fly the same, and you get one that kind of is just a little off, which happens. It'll cross a lot of companies. This disc, you can go to the one that you love, find that batch number, and then start asking around, trying to find the same batch number, and it should fly the same. So that is a cool thing. Not every disc they've got has that, but they're starting to put that on every mold. So really cool. But the Pekka Pekka hyzer flip to straight fairway. You throw it flat, you can get some good movement to the right with them. And you can also kind of achieve almost that P Waka Waka, like hit it on Anheuser high, let it fly to the right for a while. So it's a very workable disc. In my review, before I was on the team, I threw one of these, and I did hit a throw that went 410 feet with this, and I was like, holy cow. That was nice. That showed me the potential of the Pekka Pekka. So these can go pretty far for a 9-speed, because I'm not known for throwing that crazy far, but I can throw decent. And getting a 9-speed fairway that far was pretty surprising to me. So definitely one I would recommend. Again, another one that's pretty good for beginners. Beginners, I don't generally want to push them towards like a 9-speed. But, I mean, you could make that work. So that was the third disc. The next, it's another mid-range, and I know it's probably surprising for me to recommend some mids because I'm not known to be a big mid thrower, but I know a lot of people do like mids, and this is a solid mid, and it does what it's supposed to do. So I was going to put this on my list. Once again, I'm learning these names. I forgot to look up some of these. I feel like Kotuku, one of those ways. Hopefully he's right. I'm sure Ben or Jeff is going to tell me in a message or something whether I got it right or not. This is pretty, by the way. This is their Cosmic. Has like metal flake in it and stuff. Here's your rim profile. This is the overstable mid-range slot from RPM. This one has dome. You can get some really cool ones. There's some infinite stamped ones, and I believe they're Maori Warrior stamps. I could be wrong about that, but they're really sweet looking. I've got one. But the numbers on this disc is a 5502. That's true. I could even argue a 2.5 on some of them because they are, you can hit them as hard as you want. You can put them on Anheuser. They're going to fight out of it. It's an overstable mid-range. It's not messing around. It's not one that you can rip over on and it's just going to turn over and hold it. This is one that maybe if you got a big arm you can do that. But for me, if I get over on this, it still at some point flexes back out of it and comes back. It's not like a crazy aggressive dump, like uncontrollable, but it's a very predictable flight. So for that reason is why I put it on the list of top 5 RPM discs to try out, just because it does what it's supposed to do and it's very predictable. I've not thrown one yet that's not flown the way they all fly. Like, they're all been very consistent and very overstable, and this is just a pretty one. So definitely recommend trying this out. I'm not a big mid-range thrower, but this will do what you want it to do. So that was number 4. And the last one's kind of hard for me. It was between 2 discs. So one was a slower speed disc, and I think that's pronounced the Kea. It's a Kea. And then the Kahu, which is a distance driver. And for me, in this top 5, man, I'm about to change my mind on this. I think I'm going to have to stick with the slower speed disc. This is another one that is very predictable. I don't 100% know the numbers on this, but I'm pretty sure it's something like a 4403 or a 4304, something like that. It's the approach disc from RPM. If you look at this rim right here, it should be fairly familiar to you. If you've thrown Prodigy at all, feels very, very similar to a Prodigy A3. And that was one disc that I threw a lot when I was on the street team. So this is just a good all-around approach disc. So I feel like anybody could get a use out of this. These are overstable, very overstable, good wind fighters. You can flick them. I don't flick this one that much. It's got a little bit of a dome to it, but they're really good wind fighters. Like I said, very predictable. You can get some skips out of them, but no matter how you throw them, this is going to hyzer out. It's way more overstable, if you ask me, than the Kodaku. But this is one that I think a lot of people bag that maybe aren't full in on RPM stuff yet. This is one that they come across and like, and maybe it's because it's one of those discs that people can pick up and be like, that feels familiar to me because of the A3, because they both are very similar. I wish I had an A3 here. Surprised I don't. They're probably over there somewhere. But these are just going to do exactly the same thing every single time. So I would say this would be my number 5. So there you have it. After my testing, your top 5 RPM molds. The Takapu, the Piwaka Waka, the Peka Peka, the Kodaku, like I said, don't hate me if I get these wrong. I forgot to look some of them up. I got 2 kids and one's 3 months old. And the Kia. I think I've been pronouncing this one wrong too. I think I've been calling it a Kia or something like that, but I think it's a Kia. Ben will let me know, I know. But let me know if you're interested in trying any of these. If you're near me, I'll let you throw some. But if not, go try to find you some. If you're near Throwmore Disc Golf Store, they have RPM discs. Generally, they've got a good selection, and they've been hoping to try to sell some more of the RPM stuff. So if you're in the area, Tennessee, like Northeast Tennessee, Virginia, wherever, go see Throwmore and tell them Daddy Delp sent you and buy some. Try it out. Let me know what you think. I think people will really like the Pekka Pekka, the Takapoo, or the Kia. First of all, those 3 would be where to start, I think. The Tui's good and stuff, but the Takapoo is my favorite putter from RPM, so that's why it is the only putter in the list. But that's all I got. Till next time, guys. Peace.